Good to be back. And y'all won't believe this tonight. See, everybody think Hollywood is what you read and hear about, but it's drag.
Okay, all right. Well, first off, I'm Daniel Lind. I'm chair of the Ethnic Studies Department at Cypress College. In terms of where I went to school, I got my bachelor's degree at Bowdoin College in Maine, where I got my, I double majored in history and African American studies with a minor in Spanish. From there, I went on to Cornell University, where I got my master's degree in Africana studies. And then from there, I went on to Claremont Graduate University, where I got my master's degree in history, and I'm currently pursuing my PhD in history. Ooh, that's sad. Well, a couple of things. There really has not been this major push on the part of educational institutions really to focus on the improvement of the educational improvement of black men. Being told or being socialized to think that school is not for them. And so, therefore, you try to get the easy way out. You don't focus on education. And then I think another problem is that you have a lack of a support base. That in schools, at times, you don't have somebody or a mentor helping you or showing you that you can actually do this, that you can actually succeed academically. And I find that a lot with the black men who I have in my classes at times. Basically, they want a mentor. They want someone to show them the way because they haven't had that, or they have no one at home to help them along the way. And so they're looking for someone to help guide them. And when they don't have someone to help guide them, then it becomes easier for them to go in an alternative path. And unfortunately, that alternative path could lead to ultimately down the road going to prison. Well, there are positives and negatives. The positives is that you have African American females who, in fact, and again, this goes back through history. I mean, if you think about this, when black women were many times forced to have to take on the role of head of the household because that role was stripped away from black men. And so black women have had to take on multiple tasks in the community or in the family, not just be nurturer, but then at times have to be provider, have to go out there, make the make the bacon and fry it up in a pan. I'm sorry, bring home the bacon and fry it up in a pan, that's what I mean. And so because of that, black women, I think, in education is very important because, in fact, they can help give the inspiration or kind of encourage black men to get up off their behinds and go out there and do the same thing they're doing. That's in a positive angle. And on a negative light, it reaffirms, unfortunately, the stereotype that black men are shiftless and black women are the ones who actually, the makers and shapers of the community. And I think there's a major, what do I want to call it? It's very unequal. And in many ways, where you have black women in college and black men not in college, then what ends up happening, and we're seeing this down the road, is that, when the two try to hook up, when the two try to pair up, at times there's an unequal pairing. And when there's an unequal pairing, then the ability of the two to actually connect, it becomes harder. Because you have black women who want to find a mate who is compatible. And if there are fewer and fewer mates that are compatible, then the question is then who do you hook up with? And at the same time, when you have black men who are not necessarily college bound, and this is unfortunate when it comes to men in general, but unfortunately the stereotype with men is that men at times tend to be intimidated by women who are, you know, who have education, who have careers, who have more than they do, and then it becomes then harder for black men to be able to relate to black women. And so what that does is, in terms of the breakup of the family or trying to forge a black family, it becomes even harder. So I think it's really good for women, for black women, to make sure they get theirs. But I think it's also important for the women to really push and inspire the men to say, look, this is not just about us. You know, it's about you too, and we need educated brothers in the community. Did that help you?